Hello and welcome back, or welcome to another Knit Your Aesthetic pattern roundup. This time I'm going to be discussing Balletcore. Hey, hi, welcome or welcome back. So I'm doing another Knit Your Aesthetic video. I'm going to continue doing these until you all get sick of them because they're really fun for me to film. And I always kind of get inspired by a new aesthetic or fashion style afterwards. So they're really fun. And this week I decided to focus on Balletcore. I, for some reason, have been seeing so much ballet content lately. Maybe it's because it's Nutcracker season, and the Nutcracker is a wonderful Christmas ballet that I go to every year. So I was there a few weeks ago, and my algorithm on YouTube and Instagram somehow picked up on this. And so I just keep seeing videos of ballet dancers talking about their routines and what they wear and what a normal class day and performance day looks like for them. And so I feel very inspired by ballerinas right now. And I today was talking about actually wanting to take ballet classes, like an adult beginner's ballet class, because it just looks so fun. Like, obviously, I think it's different if you've done it your whole life, but as an adult, I think it would be kind of fun to try. And so I felt very inspired by ballet and ballerinas and the aesthetic around ballet recently. So I wanted to film a little Knit Your Aesthetic about Balletcore because there are quite a few pieces in this Balletcore wardrobe that you can knit. And so I think that it's a really fun aesthetic. So going over the aesthetic a little bit, I think it's pretty obvious, like, it's inspired by ballerinas and, you know, going to ballet class in between ballet performances, and what we see, at least in media and some, you know, pictures from ballerinas, descriptions of their routines of what they are wearing, and what are these functional items. I think ballet is really interesting compared to kind of other workouts or other professional sports, I guess, because it's got this very large aesthetic element, but you still need to be very functional. So it's kind of a great combination of art and function. And so the pieces that you see and that I'm going to highlight are really functional in the ballet space. Like, for ballerinas, they're actually, all these pieces serve an important purpose, but they're also really beautiful and dainty and make these nice silhouettes and clean lines and all of that beautiful stuff. So it's a really kind of fun combination. You see a lot of wrap items. So whether that's like a wrap top, wrap skirts, just things, you know, that you kind of tie around and wrap, and very functional to be able to take on and off really quickly between, you know, starting a class and being cold and wanting to keep your limbs and body warm, versus in the middle of the class being able to take that off quickly, also providing like a really nice silhouette, and on the skirts, really nice flounce. So it's got that functional and form element. A lot of leg warmers to, again, keep limbs warm. So to reduce the risk of injury, especially to ankles and really important parts of a ballerina's body and being able to dance. You know, lots of bows, less functional, but still, like wrap tops, you see a lot of bows because you need to tie it, and that's kind of, I think, expanded into this more aesthetic piece. Colors wise, it's a lot of pastel like colors, you know, kind of almost skin colors in a lot of cases, unless it's a certain ballet, but lots of neutrals like black and white, gray, and then of course ballet pink. And I think now it's kind of expanding to be more inclusive as well, to have, you know, a brown for if your skin tone isn't brown, because really on stage and in these classes you're trying to look like ballet shoes have historically been that pinky color, because on stage it then looks like their foot just continues and the ballet shoe is part of the foot. And so it's meant to really mimic skin color, to have these nice, clean, long lines and kind of make you look elongated because everything's the same color, and so it's not like broken up. But there's still like black, gray, simple colors, just nothing really too busy to take away from just the way you're dancing. And I think that there's something really beautiful about that, to have like just this kind of simple palette. Of course, can differ a lot. Like, if someone's dancing in a certain ballet, there might be different colors. If someone just really likes the color, there's nothing saying they can't wear that, but you often see those, you know, ballet pink colors, and neutrals like grays, blacks, and whites. So very brief summary. It's not a very complicated aesthetic to explain because it's very much like there are things in our culture that are named after ballet. We've got ballet flats, we've got ballet pink. These wrap skirts are often called like ballet skirts, and so it's a very easy aesthetic to describe because it's kind of permeated a lot of our mainstream culture and just become like, yeah, that's a ballet thing. And so I hope you get it. I'll have images up too, but yeah, just inspired by at least what media and popular culture thinks ballerinas are wearing. So I've got 4 different categories of patterns that we'll talk about, and I have 3 or 4 patterns for each category. So let's just talk about them now. So the first category, it cannot be a ballerina or a Balletcore video without this, is wrap tops. And so, a nice top that I kind of already talked about that you can tie around, defines your waist nicely, provides some nice warmth, especially on your arms. For some of them are not as functional, but in ballet, it's supposed to provide warmth to your arms, tie around, provide a nice silhouette by defining your waist, but still like give a lot of room, or I guess open chest, so that you don't overheat by covering your chest. And so I've got a few patterns. The first one is the Ballerina Wrap Top by Alexandra Tavel, who also goes by Two of Wands. And I think that this pattern was actually a collaboration with Surella Yarn Co. And so it's a really nice, just simple stockinette wrap top with long I-cord ties. There's 2 versions, one with long sleeves and one with short sleeves. And so very simple top. It's a DK weight and goes between a 28-inch and 60-inch bust circumference. And that's with the suggested ease of 0 to 2 inches. So pretty size inclusive pattern, very beautiful. Lots of people have made it before. It's got like 900 patterns on Ravelry. And so, yeah, very good first pattern suggestion, and very obvious because it has ballerina in the name. So there we go. They get the vibes too. The next pattern I'll talk about is the Wrap It Up Dress by Friday Knits. So this is definitely not like a functional, you cannot do ballet in this. You can like wear this to a ballet class, but I think it takes the essence nicely of this ballerina core and expands it into like a casual everyday life. And that is a beautiful dress. And so I think that this is really cool. It honestly, the silhouette of the top looks really similar to the last pattern. The only difference is that it expands and goes on to make it a whole dress. And so you've got beautiful buttons keeping it closed, as well as the tie and the wrap to really nicely define your waist. And it's a air and weight pattern and goes between a 30-inch and 58.5-inch bust. And that's with, and then you wear it with 0 to 2.5 inches of ease. So again, pretty good size inclusivity. And yeah, it looks like a nice pattern. I really like the button detail. I think that the way it's shaped is really nice, and you could easily, extend the skirt longer, make it shorter. This one goes kind of right above the knee, but would be just a nice, very like statement piece to wear this. But could easily be styled with like some ballet flats or some leg warmers and really up the Balletcore look if you wanted. The next wrap top is the Late Summer Wrap. This is by Pernille Larsen, who is the designer for Knitting for Olive. So it's a Knitting for Olive pattern. And it's, again, just a nice stockinette wrap top. This one's meant to be worn with a little bit more positive ease, though. And it's got double knitting details, so it's a thicker strap as well with, what ties around you. So, and there's a nice, I'm not sure if the ballerina wrap top had this, but this one has a little spot to pull through the straps so that they can kind of tie a little nicer maybe. And so this one's a worsted weight. It was designed for the Knitting for Olive merino held with the mohair. And it is, I feel like that's more of a DK weight, by the way. They classify it as worsted, but I feel like holding the merino and the mohair together from Knitting for Olive before, that's definitely more of a DK weight. So I would check that. Make sure if you're going to go off the different yarns, maybe check the patterns first to see what others have really classified this as. So it's meant to fit chest circumferences from 32 and 3/4 inches to 58 and 3/4 inches. So again, it's in a good range. I really like the shoulder shaping on this one, and overall it's just simple. Would be a nice tie, and I like that it's a little bit more ease than some of these other ones. And the final wrap top we'll talk about is the Yoko top. This is another one by Pernille Larsen, the designer for Knitting for Olive, and this one's a tank top instead of, you know, a full wrap. So it's really, I'm saying this one's not really as functional as like what in my mind you'd wear a wrap top for in ballet, because it's meant to, like, you know, give you that waist definition but also keep your arms warm and your limbs warm. This one is sleeveless, so it's not going to do that. But the wrap looks really nice. I think that it provides that nice waist definition and is a really nice simple silhouette, especially with the cool rib texture that kind of changes directions throughout. It's just a really cool piece, and you could style it with like a cute kind of flowy skirt, and I think that would be like kind of a nice little ballet look. Maybe ballet flats too. Could be a really nice little ballet look. And so this one is made for fingering weight, originally designed for their pure silk yarn. And it's made for 2 to 4 inches of negative ease. And it goes from a 29-inch to a 54-inch finished measurement. So that means you could go between, oh my gosh, that's too much math for me, but it's got a pretty good range. The top of that would be, you could get up to a 58-inch bust. So yeah, good top. I recommend this one. I think it's really beautiful and kind of a nice inspiration from Balletcore, but not exactly like, oh, you couldn't wear this to a ballet class potentially, but like it's got that nice inspiration. So I think that's really nice. The next category of patterns is kind of similar to a wrap top, but I think it serves a different enough function and looks different enough that I'm featuring it separately, and that's kind of these bolero or kind of tie tops. So similar to what I'm actually wearing, where it ties at the top, but it's really open in the front, and the function, in my mind at least, is like keep your arms warm, keep your limbs warm, but your core, which is probably already pretty warm when you're dancing and doing all this, is at a good temperature. You don't need that, but you don't want your arms and limbs getting cold and increasing a chance of injury. And again, I think that they look really nice. I personally love a little wrap top or a little tie top like this. I think that it's a really nice silhouette. So let's just talk about these. The first one that I have featured are the Mist Sleeves by Helene Beba. The twist detail here is just beautiful. You know, the full chest is open, but you've just got your sleeves or your arms covered, and they're these really beautiful kind of balloon sleeves, and it looks like a mohair, but it's a really, yeah, you hold 3 strands of mohair together to get a bulky weight gauge, but it would be really light. It would still be really warm with all that mohair, but really light piece. And yeah, just is beautiful silhouette. I think that wearing this in a dance class would just be so pretty, or just around like with a nice tank top or over a pretty dress, like a kind of flowy dress, would just be wonderful. And so this one, I said it's a lace weight, and there's 3 different sizes. I don't really know how you decide which size you need when there's not like a bust circumference, but I think that 3 sizes for this one, because it's not really considering your bust circumference and it's big balloon sleeves, is going to give you quite a lot of options for sizing as well. So I think this one's great. The next pattern is the Sporty Shrug and Sweater. This is by Jacqueline Cieslak. And if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. It is a really cool pattern because it's kind of a 2-for-1. There's a nice tight-fitting ribbed sweater and this shrug / tank top combo. So you could make both a shrug and a tank top and a separate sweater that all kind of have this similar wide rib look. And this one, I like that it's calling out that it's kind of sporty. So it's, you know, not saying it's for ballet, but it's got this like sport function. There's even thumb holes, which is amazing. Like knitting your own thumb holes would be amazing. I love thumb holes on everything, so this is really calling my name. And I think that it's a great silhouette. It covers a little bit more of your chest than the last one. Like it stops around here. Having it be able to match is also great. And maybe making this one out of a cotton would be like the best thing to do if you do want to wear it like in a functional sports environment. But yeah, it would provide the warmth you need up here, but give your core a lot of room to breathe. Or if you're not wearing it for dance, it looks nice. Like I think that things just covering up here looks really nice. Like I think it's been very common recently, but to me it's a nice look. It's like a fun different kind of style, but I think it looks great. And so this is a fingering weight pattern, and it has 9 sizes. It's meant to fit upper chest circumferences of 30 to 62 inches. So very great there as well. And I wonder if that's just for the sweater, because the top, I mean, it's not going over your bust or chest at all, so maybe it's a different measurement, but I think it would be pretty easy to find your size in it as well. And this final kind of bolero top, it's not really a bolero for this one, but this is the Datura cardigan by Zanette Knits, and it's basically what I'm wearing here, but with more frills and more fun. So it's a wonderful tie cardigan that just ties at the top. It's pretty cropped and has a beautiful ruffle detail throughout, and then the sleeves are nice bell sleeves. And so it's just a beautiful silhouette. I think that throwing this on over a simple outfit, like a pair of leggings and a little tank top, is going to give a beautiful vibe. And especially depending on the colors, you could make this look more kind of witchy, the way she's kind of styled it, or more balletcore if you're making it maybe in a ballet pink or something like that. So a lot of ideas here for how to style it based on color, and a lot of variety on how you also, what pieces you add can really shape it into a lot of different outfits, I think. But yeah, for balletcore, maybe a nice ballet pink or like a gray, and then wear like some more neutral nude colors and ballet flats or something, or like moon boots. I don't know. A lot of ballerinas wear like those, at least ballerinas I've seen. I feel like I keep having to make the disclaimer, I'm not a ballerina, but from what I've seen, like we'll either wear like, ballet flats or something, or like kind of thicker shoes that cover higher on the ankles, like Uggs or something, just to keep your feet warm, and also like have a flat platform to rest your feet after constantly being in these ballet shoes, which definitely do, cause some pain. So that could be cute as well. And this sweater, it's a fingering weight. It has 8 sizes, and it goes from a 28-inch to a 60-inch bust. And yeah, very, very beautiful piece. So there we go. And then moving on to our next category, we have leg warmers. I feel like this is a must. I feel like the function of a leg warmer for a ballerina, keeping your ankles warm, and so you're less likely to injure them, is essential. You want to keep all those ligaments warm. And I'm saying this like I am not a ballerina. I do a lot of Pilates though, and Pilates is kind of inspired by some ballet. The founder of Pilates, Joseph Pilates, he worked with ballerinas, and so there's a lot of similar concepts, and we talk a lot about like keeping your limbs or your body warm for different moves and like limbering those. So that's why I keep bringing this up as well, like just based on my own experience, but not a ballerina. But leg warmers are like, I think we've seen them consistently as part of Balletcore, and a really essential part to keep your ankles functioning and ready to go on point, ready to do all of the amazing, difficult things that ballerinas do. And so I've got 3 leg warmer patterns. The first one they're just called the leg warmers by Dawn Wang. And there's 1 size, it's a DK weight pattern, and they're just a nice kind of wide ribbed, or you can do them also just all stockinette with little ribs at the top, but a nice simple leg warmer pattern. There's different lengths of it as well. It's really easy to extend the length or shorten the length, and I think that they are just a simple, nice leg warmer pattern. I mean, they're really simple, but would provide the warmth you need. And this is also a free pattern. So who doesn't love a free pattern? And there's options to either work it flat or work it in the round. So that's really nice too. If you work it flat, you have to seam it. But yeah, options for a lot of different people. Free pattern, can lengthen it, shorten it, and it's just a nice, simple ribbed leg warmer. So there we go. That is the first leg warmer. The next one are the Tall Tops by Anne Hansen, and I really love this. I wanted something that was a little bit more complex, and I think that these are meant to be a little bit closer fitting of a leg warmer, which like is not normally what you see with ballerinas. I'm not really sure why. I think like you'd want something closer fitting because it keeps heat better, but I don't know. Normally there's more of that like scrunchiness, but I love all the different textures on this. There's like moss stitch, there's cables, there's rib, and so they'd be really fun to make and add like a really cool amount of texture. And you could always just cast on more stitches if you wanted them to be a little looser, maybe go up a needle size to change your gauge a little bit to make them a little looser. So these ones are beautiful. And I like too that in some of the styled photos, she's also wearing them on her arms. So, you know, you could wear them on your legs or your arms, which I think is a really good idea as well. Like keep warmth on other parts of your body if you needed as a ballerina, or they just look nice on your arms too. And if you get cold arms, there you go. So yes, this is a sport weight pattern, and there are 4 sizes, yeah, from an 11-inch to a 14.75-inch circumference, which stretches to 13.25 to 17 inches around your leg. So yeah, you could choose a different size if you wanted more scrunch and like more ease, or again, change the gauge. So very, very cool pattern. And our final leg warmer pattern are the Bluster leg warmers. This is a pattern by Sundaughter, and in the project photos, they're kind of short. This is a newer pattern. It was released in September. So they're kind of short, but you can scrunch them up or down, and I think that they just have a nice texture to them, and there's a nice 3 size range between a 13 and a 17-inch circumference on a worsted weight, so they knit up a little bit quicker than some of these other leg warmers. And yeah, they're just it's a broken rib pattern, and yeah, very, very cool, simple leg warmer. And this one came out pretty recently. It came out in September, and there's not too many patterns on this, so I always try to feature like, oh, here's a newer design that came out that maybe hasn't received all of the attention it should. So take a look at this one as well. I think that the texture on it's fun, it's simple enough, and I like that you could have it fully stretched out or kind of scrunch it up, depending on what look you wanted. So those are leg warmers. Or the final group of patterns is just things with bows. Is this like necessarily a functional part of ballet? No. Do we see it a lot? Yes. And I think everyone loves bows right now. Like it's definitely a trend to have a lot of different bows, but I think it's really fun. And so I'm featuring things with bows. And so this first one is the George's sweater by Johanna Gerisch, who's also known by Calibri by Johanna on Instagram at least. And amazingly, she wore this to her wedding, so she knit this sweater for her wedding, and so you can see some of her wedding photos in it, which is just so sweet. But it's a beautiful sweater that you could either wear over something else and have it front facing, I think, with the big bow, or the way she's typically styled it is to wear it as a sweater with an open back and this beautiful big bow in the back. And it's just beautiful. It's got this like, it's simple, but it's got something really fun about it with the big bow. And I would be terrified about tying and untying the bow to make it look perfect. But I think once you got it perfect, you can kind of pull it on and off because it's not, you know, a functional tie. There's enough ease to get it on and off without untying the bow, and it just looks beautiful. It looks so sweet and fun, and I love the white she's done it in. But again, you could do it in ballet pink, you could do it in gray, maybe even black, like whatever color really calls your name. But if you're going for that ballet aesthetic, maybe a lighter neutral color. And this one is made to hold 2 strands of mohair or suri together, just 2 lace weights together, and has a few different sizes, a 90-inch to a or 90 centimeter to a 130 centimeter bust, and it's expected to have a 5 to 12 centimeter amount of ease. So I know I've given everything else in inches, but this pattern does not tell me inches, but hopefully there's a size that you can knit in this one. And yeah, it's a really nice, beautiful, beautiful piece. So there we go. And with the open back, it's nice. Like you have some more kind of flexibility with sizing because the back's open where your bust is. And so, you know, you can just tie the knot looser and give yourself some more space as well. So that's nice there. The next bow item is the Big Bow Bonnet by Park Williams, who also goes by Park and Knit. And I don't know, like I've never really seen in ballet like wearing a bonnet. I think that this is like a little bit more, I don't want to say like kitschy. It's less, I don't know if it perfectly fits into Balletcore, but the big bow on it is so fun and would be such a like functional piece in the winter to keep your head warm and tie it. And so I wanted to feature it, even though I'm like, does it perfectly fit? But it has a nice bow, and I think that if you, depending on how you styled it with everything else, like could fit the bill, especially, you know, depending on your color choice and what else you're wearing. So yeah, it's just a beautiful bonnet with a huge bow on it. There's not too much else to say about it. It's made to hold a fingering and a lace weight together to get a DK weight. And it's got a baby to adult large size, so will fit a lot of different heads. And yeah, just a fun piece that I think would just be cute. Like to have this big bow is fun. So there we go. And the final 2 patterns are both hair bows. So the first one is the Vidyung hair bow by Moa Rebecca Burn Painter. I hope I'm saying that right. Also known as Jewel Viva Studio. And this one was released in September as well, so a newer pattern, and it's made to just hold 1 strand of mohair or another lace weight yarn. And it's just this beautiful textured bow. It looks like there's maybe little tiny baubles throughout to give it this texture. It's big, it's draped with just the strand of mohair is wonderful. And yeah, just a seriously beautiful pattern that it is huge. Like wearing it in my hair, my hair's not that long and I don't have that much of it. It would overwhelm my hair, but it is so beautiful. Like such a just wonderful bow. And you know, you could maybe style this some way else. Like if you wanted to tie it like on a bag, that would be really cute, like the handle of a tote bag or something. But in the hair is beautiful. So that's the first bow. And the second bow that I also wanted to feature is the Rosetta bow. This is by Joanna Wiernicka, and it was released this month in December. And it's a little bit smaller of a bow. It's in stockinette stitch, and it's just a really nice structured cute bow that, you know, you could probably add a clip to and put it in your hair. Again, like maybe put it on a tote bag, sew it onto something. Like it's a really nice structured bow that I think could have a lot of different functions. Putting it in your hair is really cute, but tote bag, like sew it onto a purse or something, like lots of different fun options for this one. And it's DK weight, so if you have some DK weight yarn you know, left over, you need between 25 and 100 meters of it, and there's 3 different sizes. So I think it's a really great stash buster, and it's also just a really beautiful, like more structured bow to add to your hair, add to something else if you so desire. So those are the patterns for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I am really interested to hear if you have also been seeing a lot more ballet content, or if it's just like my algorithm, or maybe it's a trend that ballet and ballerinas are more popular right now. I know it's Nutcracker season, and at least in my life, that always means an uptick in ballet. But I'm really interested to hear if you've been seeing a lot of ballet stuff, if you like this aesthetic, or if you don't, if you've ever done ballet before. Like, I'm really interested to hear that as well. I'm always like fascinated by people's experiences in ballet. If you have seen ballet, just let me know your relationship to ballet and if you would knit any of these patterns, or if they feel accurate if you do ballet. So let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. And this is my last video before Christmas, and so if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, happy winter solstice today. Happy holidays. Happy almost New Year, although I'll be back before New Year's. So overall, it's a fun season for a lot of different reasons. It's also a hard season for a lot of different reasons. So wherever you're at, I hope that you're enjoying yourself and doing well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye!